Hey guys, Peter here to do an album review. Today I'm here to talk to you guys about the debut full-length album from the band Borders. The name of the album is Purify, and it's coming out May 10th on Long Branch Records. The album has 10 tracks and it's 34 minutes in length. Now, this record has a lot of different moving parts, so I'm going to break them all down so you have a clear picture, a clear understanding of what to expect if you decide to sit down and listen to this record. First of all, let me say kudos to the band by releasing their first full-length debut album and making it a concept album about a really different concept. This is really a timeline of human corruption, starting with the Japanese death camps and the first song of the album 731, going all the way to modern day. This is really different. Not an easy concept, not an easy idea to really deliver. And even when you look at the name of the album, Purify, that title really matches, really fits well with the overall idea of the record. It really feels that the band finds the need not only for humans to purify themselves, but perhaps for us to purify the planet of all of this evil that surrounds us. So everything about this album has a reason to be there. Nothing was done by chance. The name of the album, the concept of the album, and then how the music is delivered to the listener. That to me is the next step. How are you going to deliver songs when you have this idea, this concept behind it? And they did it very well. First of all, let me talk about the music, and then I'll talk about the vocals, because to me these are the two components that when it comes down to it's really the meat and bones of any record, but specifically with this one, because like I said, you have that concept, that storytelling behind it. From a musical side of things, I really like what they did with the drums and the guitars. These two don't feel to me, listening to this record, as two separate instruments. One feels like the extension of the other. The way the songs come across, there is a blend of the two sounds of the two instruments. One feels like the extension of the other, and either be the drums being the extension of the guitars on certain songs, or the guitars being the extension of the drums. But the two are so well interconnected, so well blended together, that really gives life and fluidity to the tracks, and you almost don't know where one starts and one ends because they're so well merged together. They're so well intertwined, intercombined to deliver songs that have aggression and melody. And that's when the songs change between aggression and melody, you really don't feel a drop in emotion on the overall song. The way they merged and the way they move from one point to the other is really well done. And like I said, it really feels to me like those instruments are just one being at the extension of the other. Really well put together, really well solid, well crafted record from that perspective. Vocally, I really like what they did. I like what they did because when you talk about a concept album, there's a storytelling aspect. And when you're telling stories, you cannot have the same vocal approach from the beginning to the end. Well, you can, but to me that takes a little bit away from the storytelling aspect. Because when you're telling a story, there's different things happening, different emotions, there's different scenarios. Every song is different, every story is different. So you need a different approach to deal with that, to deal with those changes of moods, changes of vibes. You need something. They did that. They incorporated clean vocals, harsh vocals, screaming vocals, even electronic sounding vocals. So there's a little bit of everything as far as vocal style is concerned, and that to me was really important, really key in order for them to really be able to tell the stories that they want to tell. But more important, give life to those stories, bring them to the forefront, really enlighten the mood, change the rhythm, change the style. Because as you're telling the story, things change, the mood changes, the dynamics change, and you need to be able to adapt to that and change with it in order to really enhance the core of the story, to really enhance the delivery, the message that you want to give to your listeners that sit down and listen to this album. And they did that by incorporating different styles on the same track and by switching them around and changing them, but they were always done in a very fluid way. This is an album that overall to me feels very linear as far as the structure is concerned. When you start listening to this album, you're going to get the same approach song after song. Having said that, normally to me, that represents a little bit of boredom. It becomes boring and repetitive. And this record, I didn't feel that way. Even though the record was very linear in approach and style and structure, it doesn't deviate off the beaten path. It's not like you're going to get a song in the middle of the album that has this huge keyboard orchestration or a choir behind it. It's not going to happen. They have a style, they have a DNA, they have an approach, they stick with it from the first song to the last song. There is deviations within the songs, and to me, that is what makes the album pleasant. It doesn't allow the record to become mundane. It doesn't allow the record to become repetitive, because while the overall structure of the album is set in stone, each song has a different approach. Each song gives you something different, sound-wise, vocally, the way the vocals come at you. Obviously, the stories are different on every single track, but the way the songs come at you, the aggression, the pure aggression, the pure anger, that youthfulness, that revolt in youth, the youth revolt is within this record. You can feel all of these emotions song after song after song. And when you have an album that's made out of personal feelings, personal emotions, how they see the world around them, when you have an album like that, it's very hard for you to have a record that becomes repetitive and mundane, because that emotion really gets transported to the listener as you sit down to listen to the record. So while the album is linear, it's not boring and it's not repetitive. Now, as far as songs are concerned, I went with 3 that haven't been released as singles, and I'm going to start off with Bad Blood. I really like how the guitars and drums work on this song. Like I said before, it really feels like they're a tag team. It feels like one is the extension of the other. I like the melody that the song has. It changes slightly in the chorus. This is a song that has a melody almost set in stone throughout the verses. It changes every so slightly in the chorus. You could feel the root of that melody is still in the chorus, but the overall vibe slightly changes, almost like they just stretch it out ever so slightly just to give the chorus a different feel, a different style, a different vibe. The different styles of vocals really work well on this track, and like I said, they use them throughout. They're not afraid of changing, of incorporating different styles. They do that in this track, and it really works well. When you have clean, harsh, and this song specifically, electronic sounding vocals, you really have a lot of things coming at you. But they're all there in order to tell you the story. They're all there in order to enhance the lyrics and to really bring the song to life. I really like how this song sounds. I like the fluidity of it. And I like the layering of the vocals in the chorus. That was really a nice touch as far as I'm concerned. It added volume. It added layers to it. It just made the song more robust in the chorus, because in the chorus it feels like it's a little bit more melodic, not as heavy. But by incorporating those layers in the vocal tracks, it gave a little bit of extra heaviness to a chorus that was very melodic. Another song that I really enjoyed was A World Apart. The aggression in this song really starts off with the guitars and drums and vocals. It's like a trifecta of intensity coming at you all at once. These 3 elements really punch a hole through the wall. They really come at you. And it's a song that has a lot of aggression, but it also changes. It changes specifically in the chorus, and the vocal approach changes in the chorus. So I really like the dynamic that they decided to go within this song, specifically in the second, going into the second verse of the record. They changed the style and vocals in that second verse was really different, because you almost expect after the first verses and the first chorus, when you get into the second verses, you expect the same style, the same melody, the same vocal approach that you had at the beginning to come back again. Normally that's how a song is structured. They did it differently. They changed it. They brought a little bit of clean vocals into that second verses. Really different, really a change of pace, really something that left me scratching my head. I was not expecting that change, but it works. Once again, it works because of the way everything really flows together. They really don't have boundaries as far as the song is concerned, and they allow themselves to try different things, to go with a different vocal approach that will better tell the story that they're trying to tell. And the way they did it in this song was so off the beaten path, if you will, that really got me thinking and really got me interested into the song. And when I heard that, that's really what captivated me towards this track. Last but not least, Faded. The chorus of this song, with the clean vocals in the background, it has clean vocals in the chorus and it has harsh vocals in the background around it. I really like that. This song captivated me from the chorus. The chorus of the song is what attracted me to it, is what captivated me to it, is what brought me to it. The verses have more a methodic, aggressive approach, if you will, more of a slowed down, really powerful punch, but a more slowed down approach. The chorus of the song is more dynamic, if you will, but to me, the melody of the chorus and how they incorporated the vocal tracks in that chorus, the layers of that vocal tracks, keeping the clean vocals in the forefront and the harsh vocals behind it as a layer behind it. That to me was really captivated me about this track, about how they deliver this song. As far as the dynamics of the song, this is a song that has a lot of peaks, a lot of valleys, a lot of transitions, and they all seem smooth and seamless. And that to me goes back to the first point that I said about the drums and guitars being an extension of each other. This song really represents it well because there's so many changes happening throughout the song, and they all seem to happen absolutely seamless. You don't even notice them happening because of how the guitars and drums are merged together. The way they come across, the way the sound of the two comes across, it's almost like there's just one single instrument making those two music instrument work. Like there's one brain behind two separate instruments. Really well done, really well put together, and really allows them to really change things on the dime without killing the fluidity of the song, without making the song feel like it's broken. It just really connects with each song, and it connects with the way their style, their vocal approach, their overall sound, really well put together. I really like Faded, a song that really offers perhaps from the three songs that I mentioned, I feel that this is perhaps one of the songs that better represents the overall vibe of the record. Alright guys, this is it. This is Border's Purify debut full-length album, out May 10th on Long Branch Records. Let me know your thoughts on the band, the record, the singles in the comment section below. I'll be reading those and getting back to you. Take care guys.